Alright, so remember how last time at the hotel I was so excited that I could leave after half a day of the workshop and go home and be home by 4:25? It did not happen. It was crazy, crazy, crazy. Maybe you heard on the news, but Dallas got dumped on by snow. Dallas, Texas, of all places. So anyway, it was raining on Thursday, and on the way to the airport, the town car driver asked if I knew what gate I was going to, and I said no, but I knew the airline. It was going to be American. He was like, well, here, let me call, and you can talk to the representative about which gate. And this never happens to me. I never get this offer from any sort of cab driver or town car driver, anything like that. So I was like, okay. So he dialed the number, and I called, and I found out at that point that my flight had been canceled. And it was about 1:25 when I had called, so I knew I had an hour until the flight left, which left me, plenty of time. But yeah, my flight was canceled, and due to bad weather. I was like, this is crazy. It's just raining outside. What's going on? So I called the travel person at my job because she could, get on her computer and fix the travels. And she said, yeah, it's been canceled. And she didn't even get a notice. Usually she gets an email from the airlines. No, she didn't get anything. So she goes, well, there is a plane leaving at 3 o'clock on Alaska. So let me see if I can get you on there. So she put me on hold and, did the whole, I don't know, whatever she does. And about 5 minutes later she goes, it is all booked up. But there's another one leaving at 6 o'clock. I was like, okay. And so she did her thing, and she got me on the 6 o'clock flight. I was kind of bummed because I really wanted to get home early, and if I'd have left at 3 o'clock, I could have gotten home at, let's see, it's about a 4-hour trip, so it would have been like about 5:30. So so I'm not leaving until 6 o'clock. So I spent, once I got to the airport, it was about 2, and I spent the next 4 hours, 3.5 hours, walking back and forth along the terminals, and I stopped and I got like this juice slushy thing, and it wasn't very good, and I was still kind of hungry, so then I walked all the way over to the other side, and I got Burger King, which I didn't want greasy food because I was trying so hard to eat healthy, and I ate that. Then I walked back, and I got back to the gate about 5 o'clock because my flight was boarding at 5:30. And the 3 o'clock plane was still sitting at the gate where my plane that I was supposed to get on was waiting. I was going to pull up into. And so about 5:15, 5:20, that there's this little car thing, and it pushes the plane backwards and out of the way. So the plane got out of the way, and our flight, nosed in. And then after everybody left, there was an announcement saying, part of the flight crew is stuck in traffic and will be late. I was like, oh no, and I have to wait and hold another probably at least a half an hour to get on the plane, but there's nothing you can do, so might as well keep good attitude, right? So that's what I was doing. So about 6:15, and the flight was supposed to leave at 6 o'clock. About quarter till 6 the flight crew got there, and we started boarding. I thought, well, we may still be able to leave on time. We got there, we still couldn't leave because when the plane landed on the ground, all that slush from the snow had gone up into the wheel. I don't know, the wheel place where the wheels on the plane retract after takeoff, and that's what had happened to the flight. It was supposed to leave at 3 o'clock. And that's why it was still there at the gate, because they were trying to de-thaw all that out. So we got on the plane, and they have to do all this de-thawing. But you can get back, but we'll let you off the plane for half an hour, and you can be back on the plane at 8:05. Oh, good grief. So about 7:30, after we were on the plane for about an hour, they let us off, and people were pretty nice on the plane. There was no big outcry of rebellion or anything like that. People understood because the captain had told us that we're going to fly safe, and if we can't be safe, then we're not going to fly. And so they're like, okay. So we got back on the plane at 8:05, and about 8:15 the captain comes on again and says, we still can't move because there is 747. What was it? It was like Asia Air or something like that had to be de-iced, and the truck went out there and sprayed it with all the liquid and ran out of liquid, so it had to go back and get some more and fill up. By the time it got back to the 747, it had frozen all over again. And there was about 6 or 7 flights behind that. And the captain said, you know, here's the deal. You can get off, you know, he said the next flight out to Seattle will be Saturday, and this is Thursday, because everybody had booked on the canceled flights. Everybody had booked every single flight going to Seattle, no matter which, you know, stop you took from Thursday night and Friday until Saturday morning. He said, you know, you can either leave the plane, or he said you can either stay here on the plane and wait, but if you stay here on the plane and the slush gets any worse whatsoever, we cannot fly because there's too much slush for the plane to get up enough speed. Or you can get off the plane at your own expense and rebook a ticket for Saturday. I'm like, I'm just going to stay on the plane. I'm just going to stay on the plane. So finally, you know, that's all like deep thought under the wheel, whatever it is, and we get in line, and you know, he said, you know, there's about 6 or 7 flights in front of us waiting for de-icing. And so we waited and waited, and then he came back again. He said our sister flight, the Alaska flight that was supposed to leave at 3 o'clock, has just turned around and gone back to the gate because there's a medical emergency. So those people have been on that plane, and they didn't get off the plane at all. Had been on that plane from it's supposed to leave at 2:25, so like 2 o'clock, and now it's 8:30. So they've been on that plane for like 4.5 hours, and they had to go all the way back and get in line, and then get in the back of the line. So the 6 o'clock flight took off. We finally took off at 9:30, and we were ahead of the 3 o'clock flight. So I'm so glad I didn't get on that 3 o'clock flight. But I got home at 11:30. We landed like 11:30 p.m. Pacific time, and by the time we got our bags, it was midnight. And it was so funny because usually when people see, you know, the relatives, they run and they give them a hug, and it's all joyful. Last night, that night, everybody was just like, ugh. And whenever they saw the relatives, they kind of wave and somber over, and you know, we're so tired. So I got home about 12:30, and I had gotten up that day at 5:30, and so I usually need a lot of sleep. It's just something I just need sleep. I was exhausted, and by the time I got everything put away, and I don't even think I still didn't get everything put away because there's my suitcase right behind me. And I got to be like 1:30, and so yesterday I was just knocked out tired. I didn't do a vlog yesterday, and that's why I didn't do a vlog on Thursday, because, you know, I was in the air. So that, my friends, has been that's what's been going on. That's what's been going on. But I don't travel anymore for a couple more weeks, and so I will finally be able to catch up on my vlogs and keep you informed about what's going on in my life. So that's it. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. The birds are out singing. It's partly cloudy here in Seattle. It's kind of chilly and nippy, but I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Oh, and one other thing. Don't forget to set your clocks forward tonight. Spring forward. It's daylight savings time tomorrow, and I'm so looking forward to that because I love light outside, but it usually takes me a little while to get used to it because it's so light. I think I have more time, and it's 8 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock, and it feels like 8 o'clock, and so I don't quite go to bed when I should. Which I usually go to bed. I try to go to bed around 10:30. So that's what's been going on. Enough of my mumbo jumbo. Hope you have a good weekend, and I will talk to you later. Okay, guys. Bye.